The halo is a communication device utilized much like a smartphone. It's worn like a ring, normally on either the middle or ring finger on either hand. Depending on the wearer's personal choices, the halo will vibrate, tingle, or ring in some fashion or illuminate to notify them of an incoming call or message. Visual displays are projected on the palm or as a vertical holographic projection, answered by touching the ring, wearing finger to the thumb, and held up to one's ear for private conversations. What took you so long to answer? I couldn't get through on the center. It said, all calls are blocked. Are you playing that silly game again? His mother asked. Yes, Mom, Phil767 said, slightly annoyed. His mother continued, are you still planning on doing some gardening today? He was sure she wouldn't believe him. Yeah, I actually ordered some stuff earlier this morning. It hasn't gotten here yet, so I was just passing some time. He felt like he had to explain. You know I was going to go out with your father today. I wasn't really planning on working in your backyard, but I can change my plans, she said in such a way that made him feel guilty for not sitting in the driveway and waiting for the delivery from the agri-shop. You know, like moms can do. I know, Mom. I do plan on doing it today, but the stuff isn't here yet. Well, you can do whatever you want to do. I just got the impression that you were trying to make your new house nice. That's all. He stopped himself before he said something he would regret. Maybe, if you have time, you can stop over later and see what I've done. Okay, honey. That sounds nice. See you later. Have fun today with whatever you decide to do. Okay, thanks, Mom. Bye. Back in his altered state of reality, Phil767 was unfortunately captured by the others because he was distracted by the halo. It was only a matter of seconds before Phil767 saw disgruntled messages pop up on the center from his cohorts, all using aliases, of course. Hey Dante, did Mama call? Canton messaged with an obvious sarcastic tone. Yeah, I know, right? Anton replied. I guess that means that we play on without Dante. We got you and then you quit. It still counts. Anton, Dante couldn't help that his mom called. This still means that Kina was freed and she's running away without a spur, Beta said, trying to keep the peace. I gotta go, guys. Phil767, also known as Dante, said and then signed off. Gaming for Phil767 and his small group of techno enthusiasts was quite intense. They all had the new gaming upgrade to their cranial implants. The upgrade included Advanced Sensory Neurological Perceptions, SNP or SNAP. SNAP allowed them to feel as though they were actually a part of the game. Phil767 was very passionate about this kind of technology. Ever since he was old enough to know what it was, he's loved anything to do with technology. His mom was always a bit leery of his obsession. She said many times that she felt like she was born in the wrong century and would have liked things much simpler. Phil767 would respond with, technology makes life simpler. She would just roll her eyes and mess his hair and say, someday you'll understand. Phil767 would think to himself, no, Mom, someday you will understand. He believed that true satisfaction, true enlightenment, could only be achieved through the advancement of technology. He thought that technology had the power to defy the boundaries set by nature, and therein lay the ability to save and change lives. That was the power, control, and ability to advance as a civilized species, cementing our place in the universe, avoiding mistakes of the past, and protecting against the pitfalls of the future. That was technology. For Phil767, technology was like a god driven by the needs of humanity. It was all-powerful, logical, sensible, fair, and impartial. It ruled without bias and cared for without feeling or favoritism. True equality of humankind could only be reached through the advancement of science and technology. He would consider it the highest honor to be among the individuals who played a role in the greater good, a revolution of evolution, an advancement in technology, giving back what it had so graciously given to me by saving the life of my father. I now have meaning and a purpose. He thought that the combined efforts of society could create this God. one that had the power without corruption. Humans were corrupt, biased, greedy, and deceitful, not technology. It was the answer to all problems. That was what Phil 767 would have liked to tell her. But he didn't. However, she loved working with her hands, especially out in the dirt, planting flowers or vegetables. She was always trying to get him to go outside and play in the dirt. Phil 767 would say, "But they have machines that do that." "You should still know how to do things for yourself," she would say. "Don't let machines dominate your life." This type of comment would usually invoke seething frustration on his part, and he would have to just walk away. I hope you enjoyed this sample of Phil 767, the Reluctant Luminary. Find out what happens next. Follow for more content and click on the link below, phil767.com. Thank you for listening.